Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I've got your gameplay for the T30. This is a rank 4 battle rating 6.7 ground vehicle, heavy tank really, for the American Ground Forces tech tree. And this is a very unique vehicle in War Thunder, and you might be saying to yourself, unique? It doesn't look unique. I mean, this thing pretty much looks like the T32, T34, T32E1, you name it. You know, this kind of looks like it, and that's true, because it pretty much is. You know, the T29 as well. It's pretty much based on the same chassis. I believe it's got more or less the same turret, but this has a ridiculous sledgehammer of a cannon, 155mm T7 cannon that has a 40-second or just about a 40-second reload at worst, and you can get it all the way down to 29.9 seconds with a fully trained and aced crew. That's right, you can get this down to about half a minute. So that's about what you could get a battleship to in War Thunder. And you might think to yourself, okay, 155mm, 30-second reload at best, mind you. This thing must have ridiculously good ammunition. Nope, quite the opposite. So its stock shell sucks, and you might be thinking to yourself, okay, stock shell sucks. What about the upgraded shell, the T29E1? Nope, not much better. I mean, of course, it's going to go through a decent amount, but it has very little armor pen for a shell this size. It's 45.36 kilograms. I mean, you're chucking a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, depending on where you are. So I guess an 11-year-old if you're in England, maybe like an 8-year-old if you're in the US. You're chucking a small child at an enemy vehicle at 670 meters per second, and it is only going through 199mm of armor. That is absolutely terrible. And at a more usable angle, let's say 500 meters, 30 degrees, it's only 149mm. So you might be saying to yourself, what about the HE shell? Nope, only 6.86 kilograms. So a very large portion of these shells is just heavyweight, right? I think it's just armor piercing plus maybe propellant. I'm not sure if that's just the projectile weight or if that's including the propellant and all that, but it is absolutely terrible. Plus it weighs 65.8 tons. So this vehicle in all is very, very strange. It has not a great armament, but I'll tell you guys, I mean, I actually already recorded the gameplay for this. I somehow ended up killing a lot of Tigers, a lot of Tiger 2s, and the shells actually work quite decently despite being just terrible. So that said, let's get in some gameplay here, see what we could do, and you could see why this is the kind of the small child chucker that I call it, or the King Tiger Killer, whatever you'd prefer to call it. But that's it. Let's get into a few matches here and see what we could do. One of the biggest weaknesses of this vehicle is immediately obvious. It's the ridiculous reload. And it's weird too, because it's not even reloading a particularly powerful shell. The T29E1, I mean, it's a 155mm shell. This thing chucks the same weight of a 5-year-old, right? 45 kilograms. Or is that a 5-year-old? No, that's like a 9-year-old, really. Who am I kidding? That's to be a big 5-year-old. Anyways, so this thing chucks a whole lot of weight. And it hardly gets through 150, or around just under 150mm of armor at 500 meters, 30 degrees, which is a pretty common angle and distance that you're going to be at. Plus, it has a terrible muzzle velocity of 670 meters per second and only 640-ish grams of TNT equivalent explosive filler. That is just all terrible, like really, really bad. But let's move up here. Looks like we have ourselves a T3485 somewhere. There he is. That's someone. And that's not good. Okay, let's get back to spanking and tanking, or tanking and spanking, or something of that nature. Who do I go for? I go for the M4 because, of course, that's going to be the only one that I can actually destroy. That Jagdpanther Tiger, Jagdtiga, is looking at me like I am going to die. Oh, wow. Anywho, I mean, this vehicle, I'd much rather have the Super Pershing, to be honest with you. Super Pershing is far better in this vehicle in pretty much every aspect. And at the point, like, you can make an argument, oh, well, this is a 155mm cannon. Does it really matter? I mean, really, does it matter? Okay, let's come back around here. Maybe we're going to get somebody else who's unarmored or lightly armored. Got his transmission. Very nice. Ha ha ha! Jerk. Okay, time to hide again for another like 20 seconds or however long the reload is. So this is one of the ultimate spawn camping maps. I mean, 100%, this map is just evil when it comes to spawn camping. Like, they will just sit everywhere because you're kind of in a bowl here. And you'll just get picked off from every source in the known universe. So let's see if I can actually do something. I doubt it, but who knows? I mean, next match I might try to use some HE shells because, I mean, they at least have a slightly better muzzle velocity. Plus, they have just around 7 kilograms of explosive filler, which is a ton. Well, not literally a ton, but that's a large amount, regardless of, you know, whatever. I mean, this is kind of like a small battleship shell in a way, or a small destroyer shell. Okay, we have ourselves an enemy over here. Let's see if I can actually make it. I really want to kill that guy. That sounds bad. I'm not a murderer, guys. He's probably not. Okay, that looks like an enemy. Looked like an enemy, huh? Yeah! That's right. King of the castle, king of the castle. Okay, we have an enemy over the hill here. Looks like a leopard, and was a leopard. Now he's dead. Oh, what am I talking about? That's an M48. Oof. What an ugly description of that vehicle. Obviously, that was an American tank. What am I talking about? I got leopards on my mind. So one of the things I noticed about this vehicle, more specifically its shell, is that its smoke shell, the M110, has only 50 grams of explosive filler in it. Despite the fact that it weighs, ooh boy, despite the fact that it weighs a total of 44.63 kilograms. It only has 50 grams of explosive filler, and that's one of the kind of problems I have with War Thunder, is that, like, I get it, you know, it's tough, you know, figuring out all the design features and, you know, exact specifications of especially things like smoke grenades. I mean, that's got to be ridiculously difficult. But on one hand, I mean, you know, what's the point of carrying around a shell that big if it's not going to be, woo boy? This is how this thing is supposed to be played. Woo! Yes! There we go. But it just feels like such a waste of space because, I mean, if this thing actually had smoke shells in real life, I just feel like they'd be a lot more effective. You know, because this just uses, it's the same exact sort of features and all of that as you see in a regular smoke shell for any other vehicle. I mean, there's very little difference, if any at all. Got the kill! There we go! Okay, but now I've alerted other people to my presence, and that is very bad. So, now this actually has a very quick, well, relatively quick, ammo rack reload, if that makes any sense. So let's move up, move ibbity up, and it's not an enemy, that's just a turret from a tank I just destroyed. Now, I'm not expecting much in the way of a lot of kills. I can't, you know, I mean, ultimately, this thing has such a prohibitive reload that you're kind of doomed to just sit back and wait for enemies rather than go for them, and that is the exact opposite of my playstyle. I don't like doing it. It's not that it's a bad thing necessarily, you know, to each their own, but when it comes to ground RB, I really like to be up front, really like to be in the mix, and that's how it is in air RB as well for me. I just really cannot stand just sitting idly by and just waiting, which is why I can't understand campers in this game. So let's move up a little bit here. I've got a feeling we're going to get some action real soon. Oh, yeah, we are. There's someone right here. Was someone right there. Oh, buddy. Is that turret still on? Man, that thing ripped a hole in it that I could actually see from here. So I got 3 kills thus far and 1 plane kill. Not too bad. Not bad. I want to get, obviously, as many kills as I can. Ooh, you know, as much as I want to sit in that, like, hole right there and just be kind of a gigantic emplacement, I don't really feel like that would be wise. Be funny, though. Be a good screenshot, but wouldn't be wise. So let's move up. Because that's all you can really do with this. Just move up. You know, the more I play this vehicle, I mean, this is kind of an anachronism in War Thunder, right? Like, this vehicle came out years ago as, what was it, an event vehicle, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, Festive Quest 2018-2019, which actually is much more recent than what I would have guessed based on this vehicle, but regardless. This vehicle, I mean, even insofar as 2018-2019, that's 4 years ago. That's not even half, at least as of the recording of this video, half of War Thunder's lifespan ago. But so many things have been added since then. If I'm not mistaken, I think ATGMs have come into games since then. You know, you have certain aircraft. You have different types of ammunition. You have tons of vehicles around this BR that now use APDS, APF, well, maybe not APF SDS, but even Heat FS especially, that make what used to be a very strong or at least decent vehicle with its good frontal armor, and you still get glimpses of it. You know, you still get glimpses of the pretty good frontal armor on this, as well as a pretty good cannon, despite the fact that the cannon itself has a ridiculous reload and penetration values. It's still really, really good. And the fact of the matter is that this vehicle, it just can't compete much anymore. And then what can you do? Can you put it at 6.3 BR? I don't know. You know, I mean, like, there's such a glut of much more... Ooh, that was ugly. There's such a glut of much more advanced vehicles at 6.7 BR within that bracket than there are at 6.3 BR, where something like this, I'm not going to say becomes useless, because it's not useless, but you don't see anyone playing it, partially, one, because of how rare it is, but two, because it just doesn't really feel like it has a place. You know, I mean, why would I want to use this over a T26 E1 or whatever the other variant is with the increased armor up front? Like, why would I want to use this over that? Answer: I wouldn't. I would not, by any means. This thing is slow. Not that those vehicles aren't slow in their own right, but they've got different types of armor, especially the T26 E1, where it will be able to defeat a lot of like things like Heat FS, especially because it's got spaced armor. You know, Heat FS, when that thing was actually, when it was first constructed, Heat FS was not too much of a concern, but, I mean, it actually turned out to benefit it, at least in War Thunder. But, you know, of course, and unfortunately, the Super Pershing was a one-off thing, and it was just, all that armor was just added to it by combat engineers, and wasn't really an official modification. It was just kind of put on it just to ensure that the vehicle itself didn't die in combat, because it was such a rare vehicle. And really, the only main difference with it, I think, was just that it had a bigger gun. But, you know, of course, if you guys want, I mean, check out my history video on it. I kind of forget some of the details as I'm saying them right now. But if you guys want a history video on the Super Pershing, go ahead, check it out. I'll try to link it in the description below. But there's a good chance that I won't, so you might have to look it up on your own. So, damn it, I hate this reload. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Hate it. It's so bad. If I had a second less reload, I would have gotten him. Oh, there we go. Now I'm toast. Oh, it's a Tiger SLA. Let's back up. Looks like I actually survived some shots here. Watch out up here. He fired right through, but I'm gonna just wait and let for my crew to cook until I can actually get this thing reloaded, because that's the most important thing. Now we can get that done. So isn't that so stupid? Like, you have to wait for your crew basically to die in a fire. Oh my god. I should have just fired at the lower glacis. But I mean, hey, if nothing else, this thing has ridiculous survivability, right? So I'm gonna put my... yeah, it doesn't even matter. 1 kill. That's it. So I guess let's respawn. It'll be the last respawn of this match. And I openly accept that this is not the best gameplay, but man, maybe this vehicle just does not fit my game style. Not a big fan of it. Okay, we are being surrounded here by numerous enemy tanks, despite the fact that we have a pretty decent... oh, buddy. Despite the fact that we have a pretty decent amount of bases capped, as in all of them, I am still being surrounded here, so this is obviously quite bad. Got Tiger 2 P somewhere around here, but I can't really get out of here. Hopefully I do not get flanked. Are you for real? Never seen that before, but my golly gosh. What in the Sam hell was that, man? Time to stage an escape. Oh, wow. I don't know how the hell I'm still alive here. What the hell? Oh, God. What is going on? I am freaking out. Freaking out here. Is that another tiger? Oh, wow. My game just kind of froze there. That's another tiger. Hopefully he doesn't see me here. Gonna come out in about another millennium when this is actually reloaded. And coming out now. Boom shakalaka. Oh god, that was that. It's almost all been tigers. Almost all of them. Absolutely crazy. I got 4 kills, another 4 kill match. I mean, just so you guys know, I don't consider a 4 kill match to be bad at all, you know. Ground RB is not my thing. I'm not a huge fan of it. And especially with a vehicle like this where it does not support a playstyle that I like, getting 4 kills is not very bad, especially in the ways I've been getting them. It's been actually quite a pleasant surprise. So I'm just going to make a final push here. Another tiger. This one's a lesser tiger, the Tiger E. But in the minds of many a historian, they might not consider it to be lesser, but, you know, at least when it comes to gameplay, in War Thunder, it definitely is. There we go. Now I'm dead. Okay, anyways, that's going to be it for the gameplay here. I do not see me getting another kill. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Of course, I'm always interested. Got 5 kills, 1 assist. Not bad. You know, I mean, I'm not upset by this gameplay. But this is just a very unusual vehicle. And if you guys actually saw my most disliked vehicles list, saying the IS-2 was a really disliked vehicle because of its ridiculous reload time, this really, I mean, this beats it by a lot. And it has a worse cannon as well. So it is what it is, you know. I mean, this thing chucks like 9-year-olds at enemies, but it's just terrible, you know. Either way, thanks guys, and see you on the other side. Take care, everyone.